I'm Steve O'Keefe, the CEO of VSO. I'm here at the historic town of Yorktown, Virginia, where the War for Independence against Britain ended in 1781. This is my 250th memory about America for the VSO series. What I love about Yorktown and I love about this moment is it encapsulates all that is great about America in one crucible: our toughness, ingenuity, and the immigrant story, or what I like to say, the melting pot. So here in 1781, the British Army under Cornwallis had just come off the Southern Campaign, which had started out well and gone badly. So Cornwallis thought he'd get to here and would escape with the British fleet picking it up. But what happened was Washington got intelligence that the French fleet was coming in, the long-awaited French fleet. And so he raced down here and in the late summer, and the battle began in September. They bottled up Cornwallis here. It was the last battle of the war, and then it was concluded 2 years later in the Treaty of Paris in 1783. The Americans had to suffer through so many trials, probably most heroically Washington's army. Washington really didn't have an army. He had essentially farmers and merchants. He was one of the few trained professional soldiers. So he was able to pull together and keep this force on the field for 6 years, facing many, many losses. But nonetheless, they got better each time, and they survived through the end. And it sort of, I think, is the element of what is really primarily characteristic in the American story is toughness. Americans have always been able to withstand hardship. We were able to, as a people, come through these with a spirit of unbroken optimism. When George Washington found out Cornwallis was here and the French fleet came in, he immediately abandoned his strategy, leaves New York, and races down here. And this is the epitome of what I believe is American ingenuity, right? It is willingness to essentially find an opportunity and with courage and with vigor, essentially pursue it. And so I think the spirit that creates companies like SpaceX or any of the great American companies or the great American inventions really comes from this spirit of willingness to jump at an opportunity and not be afraid of failure. I'm here at Warner Hall. Warner Hall is named after Augustus Warner, who was the great-great-grandfather of George Washington. This was George Washington's familiar ground. His great-great-grandfather lived here, and he knew the area. In fact, there was a battle fought called the Battle of the Hook on this property where Cornwallis tried to break out. And so I think, like I said, one of the great things about America is its immigrant heritage and how we kind of create this melting pot. Augustus Warner came over as an indentured servant. He fulfilled his obligations as an indentured servant for 7 years, and then he prospered. He joined the House of Burgess and essentially established the Washington line. So Washington, when he came back, was sort of ends the war at where his great-great-grandfather was. And so what I think is really one of the great ironies of history, and also speaks to our relationship with Britain, is that Elizabeth II, she's a commoner on her mother's side, and that is the line of Washington. And so the great rebel and the great House of Hanover, because she is the descendant of George III, became one. So I think this is a fantastic kind of tying up of two great stories in American history.